Welcome.
Welcome everyone to the beginning of what is hopefully a long series on the channel titled The Story Of, where we shine a spotlight on a character from games we've played and enjoyed and want to go into a bit more depth about certain characters from those games. The game we'll be discussing today is the Faith series by indie developer Airdorf, a hugely underrated pixel horror game about demonism and the church, largely inspired by the satanic scare of the 1980s, with widespread paranoia about devil worshipping and other occult activities rife throughout the US. I've already discussed the first two chapters in great length in other videos, so if you like this video, definitely go and check them out. Today's character spotlight is on Michael Davies from Faith. We'll go through what information we have from the games and explore what is, in truth, a quite tragic tale of a boy whose potential for a full life was cruelly taken away from him. This is the tragic story of Michael Davies. The Faith series to date doesn't have a large number of characters, and its focus is of course on the main protagonist John Ward. And whilst there are certainly a number of enemies John has to deal with throughout the first two chapters and the chapter 3 demo, some with backstories you can learn about through notes left after exercising them, with John's faithful crucifix, Michael Davies' story is particularly fascinating for me. Not least due to the prologue of chapter 2 that saw us learn a bit more about Michael prior to him attacking John in Faith chapter 1. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We first see Michael Davies as a white, demon spider looking thing in Faith chapter 1 as he is constantly attacking John while stating a variety of interesting phrases in his distorted demonic voice. I'll list them all here. They essentially range from to some explicit Spanish translations that I won't say out loud. These don't give us much insight into Michael himself, other than the fact that he may very well be Spanish or Mexican based on him using that language. But what did happen to Michael? Well, looking chronologically at the two full Faith chapters, we begin with Father Garcia, a man of the cloth who had Michael in his care for one reason or another. My guess is that his parents went to the church for help after changes they'd noticed in their son. Father Garcia was assigned to take care and investigate Michael's condition that was inherently not something that normal science could deal with. We never know what happened to Michael prior to his transformation into what one of the notes labels him as the Chupacabra. However, based on what happens with the rest of the game in relation to the cult, it is fair to assume at this point that Michael was abducted by the cult and a ritual was performed on him which led him to become the demon we meet in the first chapter. After the ritual, the cult perhaps released him and he found his way back home. Only he wasn't the same. We also receive information about Michael through a number of notes, two specific notes that relate to one another, one being a response from Father Garcia to his superior, Cardinal Gifford. Father Garcia, you are hereby instructed to release Michael Davies from your custody and return him to his home immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Davies have already been contacted by our office. A representative of the church is currently en route to their home to discuss compensation in return for their discretion. You will meet with our representative there and accompany him back to Rome. Cardinal Gifford. To which Father Garcia replies, Esteemed Cardinal Gifford, with all due respect, you cannot grasp the importance of the work I am doing for young Michael without being present here. Michael needs my help now more than ever. In the past few weeks I have made great progress with Michael's affliction. Nevertheless, whatever darkness is inside of him fights back with increasing ferocity. We must not let up the fight against the enemy at such a critical time. There is another reason why I dare not return Michael to his family, nor let them see him. Darkness inside him afflicts his soul, but it also causes a terrible strain on his body. So that there may be no mistaking what I mean, I have enclosed a photograph of young Michael during one of our sessions. The photograph to which they are referring is the 3-month photograph. Now once he was in Father Garcia's care, we can assume based on the Faith chapter 2 prologue that his transformation all took place under Father Garcia's care. We know this as we see 3 Polaroid photos believed to be taken by Father Garcia in his home. However, we don't know that for sure, and perhaps those photos were provided to Father Garcia by his parents. However, I'm inclined to think that that's not the case. The first photo is him on day 1, presumably the first day under Father Garcia's care, where he looks like a happy, carefree child. Then we see the next photo, only 2 weeks on, and his eyes have turned red, his teeth and skin are looking more decrepit, and he's also losing his hair. And then we see a final photo of Michael after 3 months under the care of Father Garcia, which is much more reflective of the demon we have come to know from Faith chapter 1. His eyes blood red, and blood pouring from his mouth. It also looks like he is low to the ground, as he now seems to have started walking on all 4s. And also his body looks thin and has become almost purely white. And this is important because in one of the notes found after the true ending, it stated that the chupacabra suffered from rickets, a vitamin D deficiency that occurs from not receiving enough sunlight. This would indicate that Michael was kept captive for a long time by Father Garcia, likely 3 months, as he was trying to help Michael. However, perhaps in doing so he may have worsened his condition. As Father Garcia tries to exorcise a demon from Michael, he forced the demon's hand and Michael broke free from his bonds with sheer force, and knocked the lights out too. Interestingly enough, however, he did not attack Father Garcia, for one reason or another. Perhaps there is still some part of Michael in there, and maybe him and Father Garcia grew close under his brief care before his transformation. Or perhaps Michael saw him as a threat and needed to escape quickly. We then see Michael eating a body of someone, likely a resident in the apartments or hotel that Father Garcia was staying in whilst he was caring for Michael.
Dios mío, what have you done? I have somebody in the pit! Stand by, Trumbo, evil. You shall breathe the wrath of the Almighty.
These are the events that precede Faith chapter 1, as Michael has now escaped and moves into the surrounding woods of the Martin family home, just beyond Snake Meadow Hill Road. This is when we see him attacking John. Fast forward to the end of Faith, and once you defeat Amy and choose your particular ending is when we meet with Michael again. He is in multiple endings, one in which he is hiding in John's car and kills him as he attacks from behind. Now this is interesting to think, as this ending occurs as a result of John shooting Father Garcia, with Michael speaking the word whilst killing John. Maybe he was referring to Father Garcia and took revenge on John for killing him, which is perhaps another indicator that some part of Michael is still in there. Then there is the other ending, the true ending, in which John uses his trusty gun
with one bullet
to shoot Michael. He then staggers onto the road and is subsequently run over by Airdorf in lorry form. Father Garcia can be seen in the forest running around searching for Michael, but unfortunately was not able to reach him in time to try and bring him back to his home alive for another exorcism. Michael had an unfortunate fate befall him, and though it may seem like his fate was sealed when the cult took him, perhaps there was hope for him. The reason I say this is that in the Faith series, to date, there is in fact one person who has seemingly been saved from the cult who appeared lost under the control of a demon. And that was in the Faith chapter 3 demo ending, where in the final battle against Lisa, who has been possessed, once John exorcises the demon within her, Lisa runs out of the room. And now we don't see her afterwards, but it does offer some hope that people can be saved after their dealings with the cult. Like Amy, Michael wasn't lucky enough to be saved. He escaped Father Garcia and was in the wrong place at the wrong time. If John hadn't had that gun, perhaps Father Garcia could have found Michael and brought him back from the brink. Michael Davies was just a boy, with his whole life ahead of him, that got cruelly taken away by this demonic cult who do not care for the lives they destroy. They care only for their own selfish desires and bringing about unspeakable demons to further their goals. Michael Davies was just another pawn to be used and experimented on, and we can only hope that in Faith chapter 3, the full game, John and Father Garcia succeed with the Martin twins where they failed with Amy and Michael. This is unfortunately his tragic story, the story of Michael Davies. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know if this character spotlight series is something you guys want to see more of. Let me know what characters from other games are worth talking about in these types of videos. I think these could be good videos to fill the gaps between the bigger discussion videos that we have, because as I know, I mentioned it before, but the Little Nightmares video took like 2 months, and that was just too big a gap, and I was uploading a lot less during that time because I was focusing on that video. So something like this I think could be good, but let me know. And also, if you did like the video, of course hit that like button for me, guys, because I really do appreciate it. Comment down below, share it, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and of course I will see you in the next video.